Hey everyone, welcome to the Civic and Community Engagement Office's IGTV. Today we're going to be talking about how do you register to vote. And this is one of the first video in our voting videos series. So how do you actually register to vote as a college student or just as a community member? Step one, you need to determine where you want to be registered. As a college student, you can be registered at your parents' home if you're staying on campus in one of the dorms, or if you live in an off-campus apartment. So the first step is determine where do you want to be registered to vote. You're going to want to think about where will I be on election day. So for 2020, election day is Tuesday, November 3rd. Where will you be on that day? That might help you determine where you want to vote. Or if you want to learn how to do an absentee ballot, if you want to stay registered at your parents' address, we're going to film another video and tell you how to do that. So step two, now that you've decided where you're going to vote, you need to complete the voter registration form. You can do this by mail using a printable registration form that's found on the Board of Elections website. You can use the DMV and their services that are online if you have a driver's license or a state identification card. Or you can also go in person to your county's Board of Election offices to complete the voter registration form in person. And if you're wondering, what is the Board of Elections? I keep talking about it. This is where you can find out where your Board of Elections office is, who's in charge, and you can find more information about voting in the county that you live in. So if you are at Buffalo State College, you're going to look at Erie County because that's the county that the city of Buffalo resides in. You can also find this information, including the voter registration form, on the Civic and Community Engagement's website. You'll click the student tab and then click the voter registration tab. And there you'll be able to find the form and download it and print it and mail it. Now that you've got the form in front of you, how do I actually complete it? We're going to walk you through each of the steps and talk about each of the questions that are absolutely 100% critical for you to complete in order for your voter registration form to be valid. So the first thing that you need to make sure you complete is question number 1 and question 2 under qualifications. So are you a citizen of the United States? You have to be a citizen in order to vote in the United States. And will you be 18 years old on or before election day? So again, for 2020, that means will you be 18 on November 3rd or before November 3rd, 2020? If you are going to be turning 18, say December 1st of 2020, you can still register to vote. However, you won't be able to vote in the general election on November 3rd, 2020. But you will be registered, if you do complete the form, you'll be registered for any other election after you turn 18 years old. The next piece of information that you need to fill out is your name. So your last name needs to appear first on the form, then your first name, and identify if you have any suffix like junior or a middle initial. Then you're going to fill out the address piece. So depending on where you are living or where you're receiving mail, you might be filling out both questions 8 and questions 9. So the address where you live, where you physically live and want to be registered to vote. This might again be your Buffalo State campus address if you live, say, in Porter Hall, or it could be, again, your parents' address if that's where you want to be registered to vote, and that's the election that you want to vote in. But again, if you're living on Buffalo State's campus, but you actually want to get your mail at your parents' house, or you have a P.O. box, you can utilize that question number 9 to fill out that information. If you don't, if your address where you live is also where you want to receive your mail and your information about voting, you can, if they're the same, you can skip question 9. The third piece that you need to fill out is your identification. So this is question 13. You need to identify either your DMV number on your state ID or your driver's license, or the last 4 digits of your social security number. So you might have to go find that social security card if you don't know the number off the top of your head, or if you don't have a state identification. And then the last piece that you want to make sure that you fill out is question 16. So this is called an affidavit. And this just says that you are affirming or you're swearing that you're a citizen of the United States, that you've lived in the county, city, village, for at least 30 days prior to that election. So again, thinking about November 3rd, if you're a Buffalo State student and you're living on campus, you will have lived on campus for more than 30 days before the November 3rd election, that you meet all the requirements to vote in New York State, and that here's your signature, and that you're just saying that all the information you've provided on this form is true. Really critical for you to fill out that piece of information. Now that you've filled out that form, you can submit your voter registration form. And you can do that either by mailing your form to the county board of elections mailing address. Again, that's the county that you want to be registered in. If you're a Buffalo State student, that's Erie County. Or you can drop it off directly to the Board of Elections office in person. And again, can find that information on the New York State Board of Elections website related to either the mailing address or the physical address for that county's Board of Elections office, where you can drop off and submit your voter registration form. And then another piece of really important information is, when's the deadline to register to vote? If you want to vote in the November 3rd general election, that's the election for president, for Senate, for Congress individuals, as well as other races, you must be registered by October 9th, 2020. No ifs, ands, or buts. If you want to vote on November 3rd, October 9th is your deadline to make sure you have that form submitted. If you have questions, you need more information, you want a direct link to either the Board of Elections websites or the voter registration form, you're going to want to go to cce.buffalostate.edu/voter-registration. That's the voter registration page for Buffalo State students. Make sure to go there and find out more information. If you have questions, you want this form emailed to you, you have no idea what you're looking at, you've got other questions, email cce@buffalostate.edu. We'll help you answer your questions. Or you can always give us a call at 716-878-3919.